Hey, happy Friday. Welcome into the live recording of episode 29 of Client by Client. While you're coming in, if you've had your cold brew coffee today, you know what time it is. Drop some fire emojis in the chat. We're going to round out this week in a solid way and talk about what to be doing to be getting more sales calls, the mistakes to avoid, and then also what to be doing instead. So if you're here and you're live, drop live. If you're catching this in the replay, today's May 12th, Friday, May 12th. If you're catching this in the replay, then drop replay because I would love to send you some love either way. And I know a lot of you guys have been messaging me and saying that you guys catch these afterwards. And so always want to show you love for being here. We're going to get started here in a couple seconds. And then this episode will be live on May 25th. But today on the podcast, we talk about transforming your life with this powerful mental commitment. So if you haven't checked that out, head to Apple Podcast or Spotify, search Client by Client. I want to send a big thanks to Martin and Shifra for rating and reviewing the show. It means a whole lot. That helps me to reach more people, and that helps the algorithm to give some juice. So if I've ever added any value to your life, or if you're getting value from this, that rating and review is a small favor that you can do for me that really does go a long way, especially as this show is just kind of starting out. All right, that being said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. My cousin Emilio just got into town. He'll be back here in a couple minutes too. So that's also why we're doing this far earlier. So I have enough time to get everything done. I'm fresh off of meditation. Hope you got yours in today as well. All right, let's do this. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about sales calls, what to do if you want more of them, and what mistakes to avoid and to stop making so that you can unlock your true full potential, fill that calendar up, and have enough sales calls to grow your business to hit 15K a month or more, or get to 15K a week. So yesterday on the podcast, I shared with you this concept that really emerged in entrepreneurship over the last 10 years about being everywhere on social media. And there with so many platforms and so little time, and with everything that you're juggling from prospecting, sales calls, like we're going to be talking about today, the administrative tasks, doing your money now tasks, your money later tasks. Is be everywhere still a good strategy? Is it a good use of your time? I break it down for you. I share the pros and cons. I share my perspective, and I give you some words of advice for what to do if you're trying to grow your business organically, like we do around here in the client by client world, and give you my thought process on it so that you can bounce your own philosophy and your time management up against it, and you can make the decision and also know a strategy that might work for you if you're wanting to grow organically, and what to do and when to do it. But that brings us here to today. So if you are right now taking on new clients and you're wanting more calls on your calendar, or you just don't have enough right now to grow your business to hit that 5, 10, 15K a month mark, this is going to be for you. And I'm also going to be sharing what to do if you're already nearing that 30K mark. There's some little fine tuning that you're going to be able to take away from today's episode. And you know how far that can go when you already have sales calls coming in, you have prospects already in the pipeline. You know how far it can go to make one small tweak to get people to book a call, show up for the call, and to actually play full out and then become a paying coaching client. So let's just hop in. And let's talk about some of the mistakes that happen along the way and what to do instead. The first major mistake and pitfall that you want to avoid when it comes to getting calls booked on your calendar is you need to stop waiting and stop passively assuming that your prospects are going to go and book by themselves. So a lot of us think that, and I only know this from talking with hundreds of you guys just over this last 6 months to a year, is that we're playing this game of let me make my Instagram or my Facebook dialed in. Let me post every single day. Let me do story. Let me do all of the content. And then I'm going to start booking calls and getting clients. And what you realize if you've fallen into that trap before is that people will not book calls with you just because you're posting content and just because you make it available for them by putting your link in bio and putting that in your caption of the post. And so a lot of you guys think that you have the kind of authority that would cause that. And so if you are really under that 15K a month mark and don't have enough sales calls, you have to play a different game. And the folks who have hit 15K a month know this because they've had to figure out the hard way what to do to actually get calls booked. creating content and posting consistently and being visible are not enough to be getting calls booked. It is enough to warm up your market to the idea, but without this next piece, you're really going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. Your prospects are going to continue having the problem that you're here to help solve, and you're not going to hit these revenue goals that you're looking to hit in your online business. So instead of waiting and passively standing by for these calls to get booked, what I want for you to do instead is start conversations. And this right here absolutely changed my life and business when I understood this, because there was a time where I was expecting people to go to my website and to book, and I was working on my website so much and creating content, and I still wasn't getting clients. And so what you need to do from this, from what I've learned, is you have to start conversations. So there is no reason to be posting content unless the content is there to start a conversation. And I covered this in yesterday's episode just a little bit. So this should be a little bit of a refresher and a reminder for some of you. And so what you really need to be doing is optimizing your content to be creating the conversation. And even then, just starting the conversation isn't enough to get people booked, but it's essential to the concept of you booking calls and getting clients organically, is that there is a conversation that needs to happen where you're asking questions to an individual prospect, understanding their needs, wants, and desires, understanding what they've done already, what's worked and what hasn't, what their goals and vision are, and then you can actually position your call. I am not against you having your book a call link in your bio or available for people to go to, but I'm also not against you not having that posted and only sending that manually to someone once they've described their vision, their problems, and they're ready for some help around it. Then you actually position the call. So to repeat that, I'm not against you removing your sales call link and your book a call link, your discovery call. Like people are just so immune to that these days, guys. Everyone is an online coach. If you're an online coaching, is probably how you're feeling. And there are thousands of other coaches you're competing against. And so the coaches who are passively getting people to book calls have way more authority than you. And so what you need to do instead is have a conversation and really understand your prospects. And that will set you aside from the coaches that have the authority in your industry, and will get your prospects to actually stop and think about what it might look like to work with you. And when you have that conversation going on in their mind's eye and in their head and in their heart, you're already 1 foot in the door. The door's not only open, you're 1 foot in. Your only job now in that conversation is to see it all the way through. And so what I will typically ask is let me even give you more of a instance. Is it, let's say I post something on my story and I see someone watching my story who hasn't been for a while. I might tap on them, check out their profile, see what they're up to, and then just send them a thanks. Hey, thanks so much for watching my content. It means the world. And I just leave it at that. Then they're going to message you back and say, hey, it means a lot. Been watching your stuff, been binging on it. And now we're in a conversation. Okay. I might ask them who they coach. I might ask them, do they do it one-on-one or in groups? And they're going to be sharing with me information about their business. I'll say, how long you've been at it? And they might say, hey, I'm just getting started. And so I'm going to go back and forth with them. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to listen and respond to those before I skip on to the next things. Okay. And then I might ask things like, are you looking for some more clients right now, or are you totally full? It's a great question to steal if you're a business coach. Let's say you're not a business coach. Ask them questions in conjunctions with their goal. How long have you been working on losing those 30 pounds? Why is it that you want to lose those 30 pounds? So when you ask these things, these are questions that the big coaches in your space don't have the time or bandwidth to be able to ask. They put marketing systems in place, which there is a time and place for. But when you're below 30K a month, you really need to be playing this game. And I would argue that even up to 100K a month, that you have to be playing this conversation game if you want to be getting clients consistently and to even get to 30 or to 100K a month. You have to be starting more conversations, asking better questions, going deeper, and then also asking, are they looking for some help? And when you do that, now you can tee up the idea of hopping on a call together. Instead of expecting them to go and see your call, which they know is a sales thing, whether you call it discovery or something clever, and they are attuned to these things, guys. There's hardly people in the marketplaces, and most, at least when I think about business, when I think about health and fitness space as well, relationship coaching, there are hardly people who have not come across these things. They know it's a sales call. That's all good. You don't have to call it discovery. You can call it something better, like an end result they're going to get. Like I'm a fan of calling it a roadmap or a blueprint if you have nothing else. I might even call it a fix your follow-up call. If they tell me that, and I do this as a promotion also, if they tell me that they have prospects, but they don't know what to do to get them there, it's like, okay, do you think it's something in your follow-up that's causing you to lose the opportunity? And let's say, yes. It's like, okay, are you looking for some help to fix that follow-up and to tune it up? Now I can position my call and not just wait for them to go and book it. And I'm going to walk them all the way through the process, all the way to let me know when you found a time and hit me here so I know you're okay. I might even say, I'll leave the chat open, just drinking my coffee, hanging out with my dog right now on the patio, or just got done meditating. I'll leave my chat open so I know that you're good. And now that's their cue to go find the time, book the call, and to let me know. And even if they book the call and don't let me know, it's all good. If they don't hit me back, I'm going to ask a question and follow up, like, are you okay? Did you find a time all right? Something like that, so that they know that I'm expecting that we've already had this conversation around it. And then usually they're gonna be like, oh crap, I forgot. I was like, oh, I was trying to find a time and then I got distracted, or mom called or something like that. Happy Mother's Day for all the moms watching. That's this Sunday. So you have to not only start the conversation, you have to ask questions, and then you have to position your call. This process makes it okay in my mind's eye for you not to list your sales call in your link in bio or to have that even as a thing on your profile. The first thing you have to do is stop waiting passively for calls to get booked, and you need to go and drive that traffic and manually hold that traffic's hand, individual prospect by prospect, to actually get them to book a call. The second thing that you need to do, and there's a lot of you guys who are listening right now or are following me on social media. And when you follow, I will go and check your stuff out, guys, because I'm a student of the game. And I also want to be able to kind of use my own perception and my own pulse on the industry to look at where you're at in your business. And because I'm always learning, I always want to see what's going on. And oftentimes, right when I pull up your website or right when I pull up your call booking process, your Calendly or your whatever, your Go High Level, whatever you're using, I oftentimes see this next thing I'm going to talk about as just one of the tips that you can do that's going to tighten up your sales process and result in more booked calls. So the next mistake you want to avoid is having your call booking calendar availability in your Calendly or in whatever you're using, having it just wide open. This is a major tell that you are below 3 to 5K a month when I go to your website or when I go to your strategy call link, your discovery call link to check it out. Is that I'll go in there and like right now it's May 12th. This show's coming out, I said on the 22nd or the 25th, something like that. If I go to May, I'll see all of June open. Or if I'm like right now, May 12th, I'll see all of the rest of May open. So I could just book a call whenever. What problems might that create for you with your prospects if they can book a call whenever? Let's say they actually book a call and they hop in the beginning of May and they book it for the end of May. What might have changed in between then and now? At a high level, it's their temperature. When they were chatting with you and you did you did point number one, right? You stopped waiting and you actually had conversations with prospects and you invited them to book a call and you walked them through it and they booked the call. Well, if it's the beginning of the month and they book it for the end, there's going to be a major temperature change. They're going to go from warm and really feeling your vibe and saying, wow, this person can really help me, to at the end of the month saying, who was that again? Or they purchased someone else's course who served them a juicy offer, or they joined someone else's coaching program because that coach broke through to them and had a tighter process and got the client. This is costing you clients. I promise you. So instead of having your calendar wide open and people can book a call whenever, I want you to make this small tweak. In fact, a few of you are going to make this tweak and start to see the changes right away. I want for you to change your availability to only be open for 72 hours or less. 48 to 72 hours only. And what this creates is a little bit of urgency, and it makes the conversation you had with them about their pains and problems way more relevant. And now, because 72 hours is really a short amount of time, and that's really hard to forget the conversation you had and why they booked a call with you, and it's hard for those feelings to go away within those 72 hours. Now you're going to be having a call with a warm prospect versus a prospect who was warm and went cold. So stop allowing your calendar availability to be wide open. Go right now, like pause this episode, go right now into Calendly and only allow people to book out for the next 72 hours. in that rolling time period. So if I go to your calendar, and I love it when I go to your guys' calendar links and I see this. If I go to your calendar to book a call, it should have only the next 3 days maximum open, but there should be a ton of slots available. This is an extra tip I didn't plan on sharing. Make your appointments available every 5 to 10 minutes. So I can only book in 72 hours, but there's tons of options for me to choose from. The second thing you need to do is stop allowing your calendar availability to be wide open for people to book a call with you, and you need to tighten it up to 72 hours maximum. Thing number 3, the final thing here, and if you're getting value from the show, guys, drop some emojis, drop a comment. If you're getting some value from this, please be sure to give me an honest rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It would mean a lot, helps me reach more people, and helps the algorithm to know who the right listeners are for this and to present the show to them. The third thing that you need to do is stop offering bland offers. All right. Your offer's way too bland and it's too much like everyone else's. And this happens because you're looking at other coaches, you're looking at the example being set, usually by these like big box coaches. You are questioning your own authority and experience against theirs because they have way more of it and they're able to do way more and position it way more. And so what ends up happening is that you say, okay, I'm going to do the same thing that they're doing. I'm just going to do it for less, because your mindset and your financial thermometer thinks that if it's cheaper, it'll be easier to sell. The reality is that it's just as easy to sell something for 300 as it is for 3,000. And I'm going to word that differently to actually make this make sense. It's just as hard to sell something at $300 as it is at $3,000. So you make the decision on where you want to be. My Get Client students, and most of you guys listen to this, know high ticket's the only way we go. Not only do we not do low ticket or mid ticket or downsells or upsells, we only have one offer and it should be priced appropriately. No less than $3,500 when you're just starting, and probably closer to $7,500 to $10,000 for my experienced folks here, minimum. So you need to stop creating bland offers and you need to instead make it juicy. A lot of you guys think that with every offer, you have to make a new coaching program. I have one coaching program, it's called Get Clients, but I change the way I sell it throughout the year to keep it fresh. And so I talked about an example of fixing your follow-up. You might go to my profile and see that I'll have posts and videos and content talking about follow-up, and then I'll label my strategy session, my call booking process, a fix your follow-up call. And I'll do a promotion on my Facebook profile, on my Facebook group, and to my email list. And I'll say, hey, I'm getting some coaches together to work on fixing their follow-up. And I'll talk about it in different ways throughout the week, driving people to respond to me. And then also at the end of that week to book a call. We're getting too much into the weeds here. For now, what I need for you to understand is that you have to make your offer juicy. If you go back to episode 25, I share with you exactly what to do to your offer if you're feeling like it needs work. And it needs work if you are below 50% close rate, if you think that your offer is just the price, or if you're always making new coaching programs or new courses and feeling like your market and your audience has been kind of they've been tapped into already and they are overhearing your offer and you think you got to go and make a new one. And so be sure to track back to episode 25 to understand how to know if your offer needs work and then actually what to do. I share with you in that episode the 5 pieces of your offer to actually add time and attention to so that your offer becomes so much more juicy and it increases the likelihood that at the end of your sales call, they say, how much is it? Do you have room for me? Can you help me? And when that conversation's happening and those questions are being asked, you've already won the game. It's just your job to not blow it. So if your offer is feeling kind of bland, you need to juice it up and you need to understand exactly what needs to go into your offer and understand offers properly so that you can make it juicier, so that at the end of the call, after you've done the work of creating the content and starting the conversation and walking the conversation all the way through a booked call and then doing a 15-minute call like I recommend before you actually do a sales call, and then hopping on that sales call that you actually get the client, because that's a lot of work to do to blow it at the end and not have the right offer. There's a lot of fine points that you got to get right. For the majority of you, you can mess up about 30 to 40% of this and still get the client. It doesn't all have to be perfect and dialed in, but I want for these things to be on your radar so that month by month, you can make these changes, you can make these tweaks, and you can create a high converting coaching business that grows organically, that doesn't need ads, that doesn't need a big team, and that doesn't require you to be working all day long in order to run it, in order to bring it to life. This is how you live that leverage coach lifestyle. This is how you build and run an online business while also building and having an epic life in the process. In tomorrow's episode, In the next episode of Client by Client, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 hand-raising posts you can rip off and use today to get clients in the next 72 hours. I'm going to be sharing with you how to get the attention of your audience and of your followers on social media, of your group and your email list as well, so that you can drive some sales and so that you can get some warm leads flowing in before the end of the episode. So be sure to come back tomorrow, subscribe while you're here, come back tomorrow, and be sure to check out that episode. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. Get your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from the inbox, from your Instagram DMs, or from Facebook Messenger? You're losing leads and you're losing money in the cracks, and I want to help you stop that. That's why I created GetBookedCRM. It helps you get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. All you have to do is message me or comment the letters CRM to get your copy now. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got about 1,000 coaches together over in my free community where I share my best resources, where you can ask questions, get access to me, and be around other coaches digitally from all over the world. They're just a baby step ahead of you at the exact same step you're at right now, or maybe one small step behind you. My belief is that all ships rise in a high tide, and that's why, kind of selfishly, I built this group, and now it's become a resource hub for almost 1,000 coaches, and you're next. All you have to do is drop the word group to get an invite or search Leverage Coach on Facebook. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting some coaches together this month to show them my system and to help them implement it and to use my methods to land a minimum of $15,000 worth of new clients or to double your client roster over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But finding the right people and working with them is the most important thing to me. So this is only for you if you're a relationship-focused coach who always puts the person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year, or you're at least not brand spanking new. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically every month from social media without spending money on paid ads. You have at least 300 Facebook friends or Instagram friends, or list subscribers or group members. You're willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want for you to message me the words right now, case study. Grab your phone, message me case study at WhatUpJeremy on Instagram. I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're helping other coaches with my methods and with my strategies already, and what it can do for you in your online business. All you have to do is message me the words case study. Guys, that's it for today's episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you tomorrow with another episode. Cheers. When I say tomorrow, I mean Monday, by the way, for my live folks here. Monday through Friday, we take Saturday and Sunday off around these parts. All right, team, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the reactions and the love. If you've made it all the way through the end, I want you to comment Friday in all caps, or maybe Happy Mother's Day for all the moms. That would be awesome. And appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you listening. And I'll see you guys back on Monday, but we'll have some content here and in between in the meantime. All right, guys. Cheers.